guys, Maven here. I'm a former WWE wrestler. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Season 2 of WWE Unreal. Let's check it out. Quickly, my thoughts on Unreal Season 1, where at sometimes it felt like a vehicle for Triple H and it was a little Hunter heavy. I did appreciate how they showed behind the scenes, but I also liked how in some aspects they did keep a little bit of mystery to the product that we all love.
I grew up in an era where you defended the secrecy of this business.
It's no surprise to me that Paul Heyman is not a fan of not only Unreal, but I'm sure channels just like this one. I just don't understand, I guess, where some people can pick and choose. Yeah, I'll do interviews, I'll do this, I'll help promote the business in this way, but I want to, you know, it almost sounds like to me he wants it a little bit both ways. But like I've said before, adapt or die. You know, we're in an age where information is almost a commodity. And you can either stand on the sidelines and, you know, and cross your arms and get mad and pout and kick rocks about what it once was like, or you can, you know, stick your finger out, hitchhike, catch the next car going by and get on board. Personal preference for me was to get on board. I like that we're on a platform that offers options, and I like that Paul has his opinion, and his opinion is one of, I don't like this show. It's a good way to start.
What is this, bro?
Tell LA Knight some urgency.
Let him come in. Let him just get going the ring.
Back in my day, it was strictly a few chairs, a few monitors, and Vince McMahon, Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson, and whatever agent had the matches. And there would constantly, you know, be people yelling. There'd be people, what the fuck is he doing? What is going on? If the show was not running 100% in his mind how he felt it should run, Vince was quick to voice his displeasure. And he was going to blame everyone in the room not named McMahon. I see that it's kind of still that same way, but remember, those agents, those producers, their hands are tied. Once these wrestlers are in the ring, even though they're communicating through the IFB with the referee, they can't make these guys do anything. But it doesn't mean tensions aren't at a high level. They are. Trust me, they are.
LA Knight's back in the mix. Look at the floor. Seth Rollins here.
It's not what we talked about.
Wow. And I see why they put this in. Hunter saying that's not what we talked about. That means they're going off script. Earlier in the day, he gave them the blueprint on how to build this house. But somewhere along the way, these guys said to hell, they chucked his blueprint aside and said, we can get cheaper products from over here. We're gonna use those. And Hunter is not too pleased. Let's see if it pays off. Let's see if it works out. Hell, I haven't watched this match. I can't even, you know, I could tell you who won, but I'd only be 50% of chance of being right. So let's see.
Try to win Money in the Bank.
Damn it. Tell him to go. We need more urgency.
Pressure time here.
I have to say, so far, Unreal Season 2, bravo. In fact, I did my own Unreal documentary. Check it out. For years, I thought what a lot of people think, that earning basically nothing on my savings was normal, and that bank fees was just a part of life. But that changed when I started using Chime, the sponsor of this video. I've been using Chime for 5 years, and here's why. Their high-yield savings account earns up to 3.5% APY, over 8 times the national average. For example, a balance of $10,000 could earn you $350 in a year. That could pay for my yearly phone bill. Just take a few minutes to set it up once and let your money grow from there. Another reason I use Chime, they have no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, and no minimum balance fees. Can you believe that? And my money, it's not locked up either. I have full access to it. I can get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. 2 days. And deposits are FDIC-insured up to $250,000 through Chime's partner banks. Now, here's the part of the story most people will not tell you. If you go to chime.com/Maven, you can earn up to $350 in real cash with qualifying direct deposits. The link is in the description and the QR code is on the screen. Make sure you go through my link for the bonus.
He may have cleared his last hurdle.
The suspense and the drama that creates, we lost that.
And now I see why Hunter said not what we talked about. The whole thing with Money in the Bank is drama, suspense. And originally it seems as though they had both guys scaling the ladder to face off high in the air. And then at that point, punches will probably ensue. But it's building drama. But these guys found a workaround. They decided to go a different way. Oh, you got me hooked. Because I really now want to know backstage. I want to see what both guys' excuses are when they come back. Because make no mistakes about it, they're going to be congratulated on finishing the match. But I guarantee you they're going to get to the bottom of this in gorilla position. And this is a time where be happy, be ecstatic, be thankful that Vince McMahon is no longer back there.
You get all the way up top with him. Fight. You knock him off. Boom, he goes down. Holy shit, you're right there.
I get it. That Knight is tired after this match. Hell, he just expended all of his energy. But I don't like him getting lower than Hunter. I don't like him leaning down. And yeah, he's probably getting his air back and everything, getting his wind back. But don't just give in. And by leaning down and going lower and letting Hunter talk almost down to you, body language, man, there's people that's written books. There's people that's made a living off talking about body language in life and how to give up, your power. What Hunter's telling him right now, it's going in one ear and out the other. He's not retaining a bit of this information. Too much is still going on in his mind. It's not how you make information stick in my book, in my world. And the reason that I dislike this so much, that was me. That was me. And we all saw what happened to my career.
That's why he's in the position he is, because he sees down the road. Okay, that's a great idea. What do we do after that?
And we're back with the all hail Triple H. I mean, I get it. Like, he is the top of the food chain. I get it. And again, I'm not gonna say anything denouncing the man's knowledge of the wrestling business. He's great. He is the game. He is the best. I just don't think you need to completely, tell him how great he is all the time. He knows. He knows.
The ultimate deciding factor of what's working and what's not is
me.
is our fan base. They tell you the truth.
What Hunter said is accurate. You guys have all the power. You guys booing or cheering someone, you guys showing your support of a wrestler, ultimately, that's how decisions are made. TKO, WWE, at the end of the day, they want to make money, and you, the fans, decide who the money is going to be spent on. That does not mean that backstage politics doesn't help, of course. It is good to be in the good graces of certain people, and sometimes it definitely does hurt to be looked down upon by those decision makers who can make your rise that much harder. But at the end of the day, they're going to side with who makes them money.
Obviously, you hope that they're always going to boo the bad guy and cheer the good guy, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
If you're really wanting to turn heel, if that's the character arc that you're going on, and you're doing heel tactics, and the crowd's just not buying it. I like the going through the ropes. You hear it one more time. I would go back in, milk it, pick her up. You want one more, put her on, and then walk away. Just don't pay off what they want.
Are they going to favor me, even though I'm the bad guy, over somebody that they don't know as well?
You know what? She might be one of those, it's a comet, it's Haley's Comet, it doesn't come around often. She might be one of those heels that everything they do, the fans love. And that, man, you ride that too. That's a rare place to be. But if anyone's earned it in that division, it's definitely Becky Lynch. She's put the time, the work, and she has the bumps and bruises to show for it. So yeah, good on her.
R-Truth facing John Cena.
Wow, I only remember Writers 1, so I'm glad to see they now have a Writers 2 room.
Everything is just horrible in the shits, and so I don't want to pitch anything else for this story. I can't wait till John to fucking beat him, to tell you the truth.
Okay, if you remember Unreal Season 1, you remember the Writers room and how it was, it seemed a lot more of a rehearsed environment. This seems a little bit more realistic. This seems more believable to me. But then again, this is Writers Room 2. We all saw what Writers Room 1 looked like last season, and it was a totally different environment.
Sometimes his personal feelings can skew his creative feelings over what is right for business.
You're shitting me, right, Hunter? You're talking about your personal feelings from friendships can sometimes askew? Okay, all right. Wow, I didn't realize I was going to be taught the true definition of the word irony through Unreal, but okay. I'm always one for a good fucking lesson.
By Saturday, we're going to tell him this is an all-new fucking R-Truth. John Cena should be afraid?
Well, no, but we should do something.
Sometimes people don't understand, and by people, I mean Hunter. He doesn't understand, like just because people don't see the angle how you see it, you don't have to talk down to them. I'm glad Dogs, you know, is sticking up for himself and you know, just speaking truthfully, speaking honestly.
What does he think that accomplishes, is my question. Other than he wants to cut his hair.
And the Hunter's right. Like, you can't make an angle out of cutting someone's hair unless people care about someone's hair. And at this point, you haven't, you know, built into the story to care about Truth's hair. But there's other ways to go about telling someone that their idea is dog shit than dressing them down and just, you know, getting mad or angry about it. Yeah. It's just, I gotta be honest with you, I just don't see the haircut angle as the area we probably want to go. But let's keep spitballing. Let's figure out something else. Is that hard? Is it that difficult to tell someone their idea is bad without making them feel like they don't know what they're talking about? I mean, I don't know. Hey, he's running the company. I'm shooting YouTube videos, so maybe I'm wrong.
There was just this roar like, oh my God, here's this guy coming to the aid of his best friend.
You never turn your back on an opponent. And again, wrestling, we're in a real fight. Pat, you just came up and saved, you know, Michael Cole, saved your friend. You saved the day. You came into frame and you were the difference maker. You were the one that got the bully, got the WWE's top heel, Gunther, off of him. Where the hell are you going that you're turning your back to him?
All right, he can let him go.
Okay, let him go.
At some point, selling has to just be natural. You have to know what it feels like to not be able to breathe, to know how to sell a choke. If someone has you in a choke and you're flailing your arms out, well, that doesn't look real, because the moment you can't breathe, you're trying to relieve it. Your only intention in life is to once again restore oxygen and blood flow to your brain. So you run the risk of over managing people, trying to tell them every little thing that they need to sell. At some point, something has to be instinctual.
Tell the referee to tell him that he has to keep working the whole time. He can't stop working backstage.
There are cameras everywhere now. They are recording everything now. And they want to tell the story beyond what happens in the ring, beyond when they go to a video package. They're telling us an extended story now. So I see why Hunter was telling him and relaying to others that, just as a simple reminder, just when you get backstage, brother, keep selling it. Because trust me, I've done it, and I've seen plenty of guys selling injuries, selling what just happened in the ring. Oh God, oh. And the moment they get back through Gorilla, they pop up and everything's fine. I've seen hundreds of wrestlers do that, and you can't do that anymore. I remember I did a match with Chris Nowinski once, and I sold, and it was one of the only times I sold all the way up the ramp and sold into Gorilla. And I remember Vince McMahon telling me, one of the few times he complimented me on selling and just extending that believability once the match was already over.
Take your time and breathe, right? But if you feel like, if you're fucking whizzed where you like, hey, I need a sec, just tell him. He'll work around you.
Hunter, just reminding him there, calm down. If you need a moment, just tell the guy you're working. He'll work with you. He'll do his thing. That's a good last bit of advice just to help someone calm their nerves. I remember thinking all the time, why do I do this? Why do I do this? Why do I do this? And then the moment my music would hit, all that went away. But those last few minutes, right before you go out, it's one of the scariest places on earth, truthfully.
We were doing Raw in Norfolk, Virginia. Different time, different head of creative, different head of talent relations.
He's just basically saying this was the Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis era. That's what he was saying there.
I was very surprised and shocked that Trin decided to get up and walk out. That's the wrong thing to do.
Even if you steadfastly disagree with your character arc, character development, or where they are taking your character, there's other avenues, other ways of voicing that displeasure. There's other ways of just letting people know, hey man, I'm not a fan of where this is going. You don't walk out because, you think you're making a stand and you think you're standing up for justice and they're doing me wrong. Well, F them. But what you're doing is you're making other people's lives more difficult, and it's just not a good look, and it's not something that you want tethered to your career for the remainder of your career, because no matter what you do, that will always be a part of your story. So I agree 100% with what Michael Hayes says. Just find another outlet, find another way to voice that you're just not on board.
I wasn't involved in that time frame around the main roster when she left.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Shocker. Yeah. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I have been sick for this is day 8.
During my time being on the road, the only thing that would take you off the road wasn't the sniffles. It wasn't a bump, a bruise. It wasn't a runny nose. It wasn't the flu. It wasn't strep-like illnesses. It was a broken bone.
Blow your air up and then push it again.
I have. I've never. But now I'm questioning it.
Now you might be asking, Maven, during your time, did they have all those gadgets and gizmos backstage for personal health? And yes, they did. Although I never saw them break out an inhaler for somebody, but that was because if people needed an inhaler, they had it on their own person. But they were always trying to help us perform and help us feel as close to 100% as they possibly could. And guys would just get sick. They would have zinc and echinacea. They would have all the stuff to just help us try to feel as good as we possibly could, even when we were at our lowest.
I got the call, I was released, and I put the tweet out.
Yeah, the fans were not happy. The fans had grown to love Truth over decades of seeing him perform.
Holy shit, I got like 1,000 text messages. What the hell?
Yeah, I was one of the guys. I sent him a message. I had a match against R-Truth, Ron Killings, back in 2007-ish, when we both were out of WWE. This was an independent match. I was a heel, the bad guy, and I was giving someone in the crowd the business. And the person in the crowd came to attack me. I offended him so much. And my opponent, R-Truth, jumps out of the ring and gets in between me and the fan. That's why people love you. Yeah, you're funny. You're the funniest guy in wrestling, but it's because of instances like that. Because you put other people first. That's why people love you so much, Truth.
Okay, well, if you're not going to come to us, then, Truth, we're going to let your contract lapse. Maybe this will force his hand to say, well, hold on a second, can we talk?
I believe this is a little bit of Hunter saving face, but I also believe there's truth in what he's saying. I do believe that contracts are tough. And they're tough because A, everybody wants to make as much money as they can, and B, the company wants to hire you for as little as they can. And in the middle, there has to be a happy meeting point. I do tend to believe, Hunter, that they were probably just playing a little bit of hardball. Probably just informed him, hey, if we can't find a meeting point, we're gonna have to let you go. And but I also don't think Truth recognized when he sent out the tweet and when others came to his aid, I don't think he recognized that the backlash was going to be as big as it was. And I don't think the WWE, I don't think Hunter and them knew that the backlash was going to be that big either. So in most all instances like this, the Triple H side, they're going to win. And they're going to stand fast and stand firm and let your contract relapse and renew. And they're going to say sayonara, kick rocks, we'll see you down the road. In this case, they just ran up against a force of nature, a force no one saw coming. But then again, I recognize what it's like to catch people off guard.
Then it just becomes, can we get to a place where we can do business together? That's the business side.
I actually believe Hunter 100%. I don't think that Hunter had anything against R-Truth. And I do think he wanted R-Truth at a certain number. And there was a number that he could not extend and go beyond. And if Truth's number extended beyond that point, we have to let you go. But if you come in and we have a happy middle ground and we find a meeting point, yeah, we definitely want you back. Yeah, I might break the internet with this, but I believe Hunter 100%.
Send him. You see a reveal here.
That visceral reaction that Truth got from the crowd, that was organic, that was real. When you heard him and Gorilla say, send them, they're obviously, someone has Truth off to the side. He's not coming from Gorilla position. He's coming from somewhere in the arena, and someone on a walkie-talkie is getting a cue from Gorilla when to go, hence send him. And it's rare to see the WWE turn tail and about face and change their minds and rehire someone strictly from fan revolt. And again, thanks to you guys, they did.
Did, man. What's up, man? Welcome back. Thank you. Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Taker said that in jest. He said that as a moment of levity. Well, what's up, man? Welcome back. And then he grinned at him. That's Taker's way of saying, hell, brother, you never left. You weren't even gone.
Just where we were, right? And it's just a fucking business thing, but man, I'm so fucking happy you're still here and all that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I tend to believe Hunter when he says what he says. I believe 100% that he didn't want Truth gone, and I believe he's happy it all got mended and everything got figured out. But I'm also not blind to Truth's reaction and his limited, thank you, man, thank you. But yeah, Truth was hurt. And he felt that. Every wrestler has to come to grips with reality that it is a business, and no one loves you more than you love yourself, and no one values you more than you value yourself. So I do agree with Hunter. It is a business, man. It's an ugly business, and it's a business that is going to hurt, and it's a business that very few are going to exit the way they want. Very few. That said, both sides came to a middle ground, and happily, R-Truth is still where he belongs, in a WWE locker room. Now, I was way more complimentary on Triple H this go round. To see my criticisms of the game from season 1, watch the video on screen.